Tom, you guys are doing incredible things in the connected fitness space and in the FitTech space. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Maybe kind of the first question I would like to ask you is like, how did COVID change your business model and your business in general?
Yeah, what's interesting for us is we've been at this for almost 9 years. And for 9 years, I feel like we've been running around as a team, Team Peloton, saying, listen, the future of fitness can happen in the home. The home has traditionally been the absolute worst place on earth to work out. It's no fun. There's no great instructors. You don't have the community of folks around you to motivate you. And we've been saying, listen, we believe with technology, we can bring all of those components that make fitness so engaging and make fitness as fun as it can be. And we can bring those to the home in a way that can actually blow people's minds. And so we've been doing this for like I said, almost 9 years. We put the first Peloton bike in the first home in the United States in 2014. And since then, our business has basically doubled in size every single year. Right? Mm-hmm. And for sure, as more people were impacted by this global pandemic and started to rethink what it meant to bring more things into their home, yes, we absolutely saw an acceleration of that trend that was already underway. And we're excited that we're able to welcome more folks, more members into the Peloton family.
Talking of members, you currently have around 2.6 million members. That's quite a number, but still, how many more are there to come in the next years? And now we're talking about the future. I know you're not authorized to talk about the future, but still, what's your, what do you think?
Look, if you think about it, there are all these dollars being spent globally on fitness. And predominantly, those dollars have been going to gyms and boutique studios. But if you look at it, those business models don't have a nice alignment of incentives to their customers and their members, right? The gym model is all about getting folks to sign up in January and then hoping they never come, because gym models expect to oversubscribe in order to be able to make their revenue. Our entire model revolves around getting as many people as possible to work out as often as possible. And the great thing about that is that our members want a solution that gets them to work out as often as possible. So if you look at what we've done over the last number of years, we started with cycling, but we've added tread and running and boot camp workouts. We have an amazing strength offering, yoga, meditation. Our folks are using meditation at night to help, relax and calm and get a great night's sleep. And so you have this sort of like total mind and body fitness solution all in one at a better value, mm-hmm. Right? Because the Peloton subscription is the Peloton subscription works for every single person in the household, right? You can have unlimited accounts, and it works for all of these different fitness verticals. So it's a better value, a better experience on better equipment with the world's most unbelievable instructors.
Okay, that's a very important point, I think. So is there still a place for gyms in the future? Once you've bought the bike and you've invested this money, which is kind of sunk cost, right? You've got it there in your room, and you can pay like 40 euro subscription for a Peloton bike, having functional training experience on top, not only spinning. So that's, lots of possibilities what you can do with your body with this kind of workout. Who wants to go to the gym anymore? Like, seriously, what do you think?
So like I said, for a long time, I've often been caught saying something like, who wants to go to the gym and work out on a piece of equipment that 30 people earlier that they sweated on? Exactly. That's also probably 10 years old, right? And that's a part of it. And by the way, me and my family, we recently moved out of the city. We're here in the New York City area. We moved out of the city into the suburbs. And what we found out was that when we moved to the suburbs, all those great little boutique studios that have these great instructors, turns out those instructors didn't want to move to the suburbs with me. So the studios out here don't have the same quality of instructor. And what's amazing about Peloton is that we're able to centralize hiring and broadcast of a really talented group of human beings into homes everywhere. And that's another really unique piece.
Okay, Tom, so what I hear you saying, you're not really seeing gyms as your competitors anymore.
Like I said, it's a growing, what's great is that more and more folks think that fitness is where they should spend their dollars. And so it's growing. I think that maybe gyms need to refine their business model. I think, like I said, it's about incentives and being aligned to your consumer. So I always come back to us because that's what I spend my days thinking about. I think about Peloton. I think about our members every day, and I really am like incredibly proud to be able to be part of a business that wants the same thing as our members. We want you to work out as often as possible, and we want every single person in your household to join in too. And that's what our members want. Our business model is designed to power that. And the folks that we hire spend every single day trying to figure out new ways to make you want to work out more. And that's something that's very special that I don't see the vast majority of the gyms being able to provide.
So Tom, let's talk about your real competitors. We know that you compared the experience of Peloton Bike with the Apple kind of experience. And now that Apple announced its Fitness Plus subscription service, it definitely kind of feels that you got more competition on the market. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, first of all, like I said, we've been at this for almost 9 years, and there were many periods along the way where we got worried that nobody else was coming and competing, because most folks who met us told us that we were not onto something that was going to work. Honestly, most folks told us we were idiots who were wasting our time, and it's very disheartening. But and so for a while we were just worried, like, uh-oh, if no one wants to compete, maybe we are in the wrong space. I do think that there's great validation when you have, I think they're the world's biggest or one of the world's biggest companies recognizing that fitness from home is a valuable space and is a great way to serve folks all around the globe. So I'll start there just to say, like, I think it's a great validation of everything that we've been working so hard on for the last almost 9 years. Mm-hmm. But then I'll also say that as a company, Peloton, this is what we do every day. We wake up to design the future of fitness every single day. And we have not gotten tired of it. We are growing our team at an incredible rate. We have some of the most unbelievably talented folks at every stage of the business. And we think about this every day. This is all we do. And we think that because of that, because of our DNA, because of our 9 years of history of understanding this consumer and our members, we think we are light years ahead of anyone, including Apple. And our ability to bring this vertically integrated experience, to have the most remarkable instruction on the best equipment with really special software that brings it all to life, is something that we've refined for a long time, and something that we're continuing to refine, and something where, again, I think we're way out ahead, and I'm proud of how far out ahead we are.
Thanks. Just one more question on that. How do you actually see the landscape? What's your view on that? Do you see like Peloton moving more into in the landscape where SoulCycle and other boutique fitness studios are moving? Is it more of, connected smartwatches like Apple Watch, or is it more in the space of the connected hardware like Techno Gym or Hydro, or like Vaha from Berlin? So what kind of landscape do you see from your perspective?
Yeah, again, we're really excited about the connected fitness business that we've pioneered. We started with bike, we moved on to tread, and we're just not done, right? We think that there are a number of other fitness verticals where our system can excite folks in the same way that it has with bike and tread. From last year to this year, we've, on a dollar for dollar basis, doubled our investment in product R&D. And so, we are not squandering those dollars. We have remarkable folks hard at work on continuing to reshape the future of fitness.
Okay, that's interesting. And you guys also define yourselves as a FitTech and a media company. What is it that fitness and media companies are not getting, which lets you disrupt these industries or move into these industries really quickly as a newcomer?
Yeah, I appreciate that you said it's really quick. I've had 3 kids in the process of building Peloton, so it hasn't felt all that quick.
You feel that quick for you? Okay.
And it has been, it's been very fast in its own way. Like I said, Peloton has basically doubled year on year since 2014. And so it's been really clear that we tapped into a consumer need that was that existed.
What exact need did you serve? What was it?
So I think it's as simple as, folks want a system that causes them to want to work out. Mm-hmm. And I think the vast majority of people want that workout to be enjoyable and fun and a part of their day that they welcome, not a part of their day that they dread. And then being able to do that at a good value and from the convenience of home, really adds to the total value proposition. And so I think that that was the need. And like I said, then you layer on things like this large global community and that feeling of the presence of others. We're human beings. We love the feeling of the presence of others. It's a motivating factor, and our ability to use software and the methods by which we produce content to allow you to feel the group come into your home like that, I think taps an important psychological component that helps you have that feeling of wanting to engage in this activity. And that's what we all expect out of fitness.
How many classes do you stream daily from the studio? You have one studio in New York, right?
So we have a studio in New York City and studio in London, and each of those facilities has studios A, B, C, D at least in each, and we broadcast daily. I think we broadcast something like 40 hours of content a week. Between those two studios, and that ability to broadcast on a daily basis is really important. Whether or not you take a class live with us or you take it time shifted, you take it on demand at your schedule and convenience, is one thing. But our ability to broadcast daily means that we can respond on an instant basis to any shifts in consumer desires and needs. It means that the music that we play is relevant to literally right that moment. It means that when you're in a class and the instructor is speaking to you, they can be speaking about events of the day. And all of those things matter in that connection to the member who's at home to make you feel, you know, more deeply engaged in the class and in the experience.
Yeah, so this is kind of the feeling engaged and feeling part of the community on the human side. What about the technological side? What do you think? What technology will completely change the way we do fitness in the future, apart from connected hardware?
Is it fair to say the Peloton technology?
Well, I kind of expected that, but
I know you did.
Something different.
So again, this is a hard one for me to talk about with too many specifics. But you know, we have a very sizable software team and a very sizable hardware team with deep technology roots, right? And we spend a lot of time focusing on that interplay between the hardware and the software, and where we can continue to push the limits on how to create more of this connected experience. That's where we focus a lot of our time and energy. How can I get you to continue to feel like this is more engaging and you feel more connected to the class and the community?
Okay, so Tom, let's talk about yourself. How did your background in philosophy help you to create a company like Peloton?
Yeah, it's always an interesting question. I didn't choose my degree. I think I was in a lucky enough position when going to university that I didn't choose my position necessarily thinking about the job placement it could provide for me later on. I chose something that I thought would be intellectually stimulating. And, you know, I think then I was fascinated by understanding how as a global community, we've evolved over millennia into the societies that we've formed, and spent a lot of time studying that through philosophy. And I guess it does end up having an interesting correlation to the types of work that we're doing at Peloton by creating shared experience and building community around that shared experience. So maybe there was something in there that I've taken into what we get to build every day here.
What's your favorite philosopher?
That's a good question. I don't know that I have a favorite. I think then in college I enjoyed reading Schopenhauer.
Who's German? I guess all the Germans watching us right now will be really happy about that.
That's right. I mean, I didn't pick that just because of the German audience, but that is true.
And did you find any ideas that in Schopenhauer's works, like in the hindsight right now, that you kind of saw that you unconsciously transferred into building the company?
That is a good question. Again, I think with all of with all that I spent the time studying in college, a lot of it was around this notion of, you know, why do we think the way we think? Why do people come together the way they come together? What makes us tick? Schopenhauer had his notion of this capital W will that was always sort of powering you along the way. Different philosophers had different notions of what it is that is making you tick. And I think I probably spent too much time in college thinking about those things, and now with in practical life, I do need to think about what makes our members tick, and I do need to spend a lot of time with our teams trying to look at how folks are moving through our system and decide where are the areas that they're finding friction so that we can rip those areas out, and where are the areas that they're moving really smoothly through that we can widen those pathways.
So Tom, from the bird's eye perspective, what is it that you're actually building? Is that kind of the human social network or fitness social network? Is that a new public space for community health? Is it more of a human fitness ecosystem? How would you describe that from this meta view?
Yeah, I mean, it's all of it. And I know people get annoyed when we try to describe our business as being all of these things. But what I always go back to is, hey, listen, we didn't wake up one day and decide, oh, hey, let's build a really complicated business where we have to build our own warehouses, and we have to have our own trucks, and we have to make hardware and software, and create a connected community, and stream our own media, and have our own, studios and retail. Right? I think maybe it would have been easier to wake up one day and meet somebody and write 6 lines of code and then have a massive business, right? That would have been
nice.
That would have been convenient, right? So we didn't go into this saying, wow, we just want to make all these pieces, but we do want to create. We do want to lean into this idea that there's a global community of human beings who want fitness to be more of a part of their life, and there were not great solutions to make that happen in a way that was incentives aligned to those consumers. And we saw an opportunity to use everything that we knew to bring all of these components together and create something that could really work for folks. And that's what we pride ourselves on doing. And so we will continue to watch and learn and understand how people want to engage in fitness, what they want to do, how much they want to, feel the presence of the group, right? How much they want different verticals.
How do you do this exactly?
So the simple answer is we look at, we have a quantitative and a qualitative approach. And so what I mean by that is, on the quantitative approach, we have our folks are constantly looking at usage information on the platform. What classes are people engaging in? What features are people engaging with? How people are moving through the system, and where they're hitting roadblocks, and where they're moving smoothly. And we're always assessing those pieces. And through that, we are able to react really quickly, because again, we broadcast daily, and we can release software to all of our equipment anytime we want.
So you're basically not only a FitTech and media company, you're also really a data-driven company.
That's right. I'd say we're very much a data-informed company, and we use that information to help make decisions about what we think is going to make consumers tick. We also take big bets, right, that are based on intuition, and I think those are important too. But our ability to be nimble, and our ability to test and learn, our ability to roll out new software, try new types of content, and see if people like it, watch for the response, and then if people do like it, we'll do more of it. If people don't, we'll do less of it, right? And that's how we kind of take this nimble approach to iterating on the system.
Super interesting. So what was the biggest bet that you took recently?
The biggest bet we took recently, trying to think here. Well, I mean, of course, launching, I guess in the last couple of weeks, right, we just launched Bike Plus, and that was a big bet, right? Because it was, like I said, data informed, but it's still a bet at the end of the day. Here we've built this whole business around the Peloton bike. People love it. It works. It's tremendous. It's been so well received, right? And it's built a business and created a category. So it was definitely a bet to say, we can release something that takes this up a notch, right? We can release something that improves upon this without making the wrong making the wrong turn. And so far, we're very proud by the reviews and the users who have them, the members who have these bikes now. We feel like we got the bet right.
Okay. Let's talk about something different. If you were to start a new company right now, and it explicitly would not be Peloton, okay? don't say Peloton. What kind of company would that be if that were a company in the fitness space?
I think if I were starting a company right now that wasn't Peloton, by the way, that's a very hard question for me, because again, I spent every single day for the last 9 years thinking about Peloton and thinking about our members. So it's very hard for me to think about anything else, maybe aside from my wife and kids. But possibly a logistics company. I know it's funny as you look around the world. The world is really good at moving small packages around, and the world is terrible at moving big stuff around, which is why Peloton took it upon ourselves to build our own internal end-to-end supply chain and logistics, so that we can have this capacity to walk into your home and deliver something that has real size in a very concierge way. Truly, I don't believe anyone else on the planet actually does that or does that well. There is no DHL of big stuff that can do it with efficiency and convenience and value to the consumer.
How about Amazon?
Well, again, Amazon, though, is like us, vertically integrated, right? So Amazon had to take it upon themselves to move stuff around on their own backs.
I want to go back a little bit to the bird's eye perspective. So do you think that we are now, also due to COVID, kind of witnessing the next renaissance, the next fitness renaissance, maybe?
That's interesting. Again, I really do believe that this is something that's been ongoing for the last number of years. Right? I do believe that all of the trend data shows that folks have been taking fitness and wellness into their day-to-day at an increasing rate over the last number of years. So again, I do think that this has been a clear ongoing trend. Similarly, I think the sort of trend toward convenience has been an ongoing trend. The arcades that used to exist in the 70s and 80s don't exist because PlayStation and Nintendo can happen in your home in a globally connected, high value way. Movie theaters had already been, reducing in size as Netflix and Disney Plus take hold, and you have better equipment and better screens in your home, and it's almost just as good or better to be able to enjoy a great movie right from home. You brought up Amazon, but we have now grocery delivery, and I love going to the grocery store. But as a matter of convenience, it's just been easier for our family to be able to have grocery. So I do think that those two trends, the growth of fitness globally and wellness for consumers, is something that's been ongoing, and the value of convenience is something that's been a trend. And so then we sit at an intersection there and fit nicely into those two existing trends.
Which role do you think kind of fitness, health, and the feeling of control over your own body will play in the future for mankind as such?
We all recognize, and the global community is recognizing, that taking better care of our bodies sooner rather than later is generally a good idea. And maybe it's not just because folks want to figure out how to live forever, but to the extent that however long I'm going to live, I'd like to make the most out of those years, right? I would like to feel good for as many of those years as possible. And I know that, mind and body fitness now can give me that satisfaction later.
Do you think we're entering the era of the kind of new fitness capitalism where the rich will be able to get home fitness experiences because, they're not cheap, and the poor will have to kind of go work out with a normal bike outside?
I'm also going to answer this one with I hope not. We're going to take our own steps to combat that potential future, both in the product mix that we offer and the price points at which we offer access to our system, and through other means.
Okay, thank you, Tom, so much for your time. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. This has been fun.